Started with 500, on my way to a mil, closed over 100 deals. Can't change us. It's the game changers. It's the game changers.
You want to ask yourself every single day, am I doing everything possible to reach that goal? Don't get too far of yourself. Stay in the moment, stay grounded, and continue to push every single day.
Welcome to the Game Changer Podcast. I'm your host, Elijah Bryant, and we got a special guest with us today. We got Adonis. How you doing?
Trying to make it in these streets, man.
Yes, sir. So let's bring him back. Talk about your upbringing and where you from.
Currently out the Northeast, you know what I'm saying? Like New York, moved down to Texas. Got my engineering degree in New York, moved down to Texas doing, I was a rocket propulsion test engineer. So I moved down to Dallas.
What that is. What is that?
I did testing and failure analysis for the rocket propulsion system of missiles.
Okay.
Right. So I was a dude that would take missiles in the lab, shake them, bake them, take it fly out, go out to New Mexico and shoot shit out the sky and blow stuff up. So
that sounds cool.
No. I had the coolest job, but I'm the traditional story. I had a dope job, but my boss made me hate working there. Like he literally made working there like miserable. And when I realized it was time to go, was in the middle, like we're in the lab, homie walks in the lab at 9 o'clock in the morning, standing over me, yelling at me. And in that moment, I was like, I'm gonna choke him.
Yeah.
And I decided that I'm gonna choke my boss in front of 5 employees on the Lockheed Martin site. And while I'm contemplating this, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna choke him, go to jail, lose my security license, probably won't be able to be hired to do anything that has background checks. But I will be a legend at Lockheed. Yeah, I'll be the dude that actually choked his boss.
Yeah.
Not a lot to hang the resume on that. So I was like, man, I got to get out of here. I was already studying real estate. I think maybe like 4 or 5 months later, did my first deal, and in 62 days, I made more than what I net in a year as an engineer. 2 months later, put my notice, I was out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I literally left off a whim, off of that alone. I was like, if I can do this part-time, then I can kill it full-time. And that was in 2011. That was 13 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you never choked him out, right?
Nah, didn't choke him out.
All right. So in terms of real estate, like, what got you like into real estate? Was it like a YouTube video? Did you go to like a meetup or something?
Nah. So in 2008, I was when I really started looking into it. And then I remember exactly when I decided. I'm watching. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm watching an infomercial. I'm a plumber with no education. I make millions in real estate. So I'm 22, 23 years old. I'm like, I'm smarter than that guy. If he can make millions in real estate, so can I. So got laid off. That's in the 2008, the big, the recession hit 2008. Got laid off from LA, went back to New York. Obama came in, did all the defense cuts. That got laid off. My site went through 5 layoffs in 18 months. And I was like, yeah, this ain't it. So by the time I moved it down to Texas, I was already knowing that I was going to get into the game.
Yeah.
The manager was who made me just, expedite it. And so, I knew from like 08, 09, I was going to jump in. But when I moved to Texas, that's when I was like, yeah, it's now or never.
Okay.
I jumped in. So
let's talk about some early struggles. Because I know when you jump into real estate, it's not like you just jump in and get a deal right away. So what was that process like on getting that first deal? The
irony was I jumped in and got a deal right away, and it was a home run. And wow. I was like, yo, if this shit is this easy, I'm going to kill it.
Yeah.
How wrong I was.
Before you go on, how much you made that first deal?
So at the time, I made $79,000 on that deal in 62 days.
And it was a wholesale?
No, it was a flip that I bought the house for like 22, 23, put $6,000 in work and sold it for like, I don't know, 80, 90, something like that. Wow. So I ended up walking away with almost like 70, 80,000. I don't know. I'm close. Yeah. And at the time I was making, in 2010, I was making 85 as an engineer. Yeah. Now, just for those of you watching, that equates today, that's like 180. So don't worry, y'all trying to come for me. I was doing my thing. Yeah. And making 85, at that time, I was doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 23. And when I saw that, I'm like, yo, I'm looking at my like my annual check in 2 months working, doing this 4 hours a week. I was like, yeah, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
The thing about that story though is that it gave me a false narrative on what real estate was because I never had a home run deal like that again for like 2-3 years. And I struggled immensely, not because I couldn't do a deal, because I was too arrogant to understand. No, let me not say that. At the time, I didn't understand that was unique. That was not regular.
The regular.
I thought that was the regular.
Yeah.
So I quit abruptly and I didn't have a backup plan. And I'm like, I'm smart. I got an engineering degree. I'm a people person. I'll figure this out. And no one told me that about all the trials and tribulations you're going to go through. And I literally spent the next maybe 4 years flat broke, living not even paycheck to paycheck, deal to deal, which was closing every month or two. And I just wasn't financially prepared for it.
So, and I'm glad you mentioned that because most people think that, right? You get that first home run, it's going to come back to back like that. It's not always like that. You get that early success, that might not even be a blessing all the time.
It turned out to be a curse for me, to be honest with you, because again, gave me a false sense of security about how quickly and easily I can turn numbers that big. And the problem with that is that I left without having I liquidated my 401k after 3 months. I literally bled everything out. At 6 months, I was tapped. So now mom's is helping me, dating my girlfriend at the time was only her and I on dating for a year. I got her helping the business. It was like, and mind you, I'm now 24, 25, needing help from my parents in the business that I'm starting. Mom Dukes held it down because she's like, yo, I know you're doing your thing. This is part of it. So mom's never shaded. She helped every way that she could. But I'm going to tell you, I lost my entire mid-20s being flat broke while building the business. And the one thing when people ask me what would I have done differently, I don't have many regrets about the way I got into the business. I only have two. The first one is I should have created a much more sound financial plan before I walked away from steady income.
So would you have like 6 months saved? Like what would that plan look like? 6
months saved as an entrepreneur goes in almost less than 3. 6 months saved as working a 9 to 5. I can map that out. As an entrepreneur where shit, I got to pay this. Damn, I got to pay phones. Damn, I got to pay for marketing. That 6 month money was gone in like 45 days. And at the end of that, I'm now taking on debt. And now debt is paying the bills, but debt still got to be paid. So to pay this debt, I took on more debt. Fortunately, I understood how credit worked. So I was able to manipulate credit, did a lot of robbing Peter to pay Paul. And one thing I would have done, man, my second thing that I wish I would have done is, this is my number one regret. I don't have many regrets, but these 1 and 2. I should have got a mentor. The first time I asked for a mentor, I'm 15 years in the game. First time I asked for a mentor, 6 months ago.
Wow.
Number one regret. If I would have done anything different, I'd have got a mentor. And that's why I'm telling everybody.
Why'd you wait so long?
I'm a smart guy. I'm a people person. I'm handsome. This is what I was telling myself. And when I go through something, I've learned it. I don't need to go through it again. I figured it out. And then there's something new, and then something new, and then something new. And it got to the point where in my late 20s, I felt embarrassed asking for a mentor because I'm already 5 years in the game. So I'm like, man, someone's saying, if someone look at me saying, man, like he's asking for a mentor, he must not be doing well. And I convinced myself that that's what someone would think of me, right? I convinced myself that people hearing that I had a mentor would discourage them from wanting to do business with me because I didn't know how to run a company. So I dug deep into that narrative for another 5-6 years. Then when I decided that, man, I'm in my early mid-30s, it's time for me to ask. I've amassed so much success that a lot of people that I would ask for a mentor are way outside of, they're like, I've done so well. The next wave of mentorship comes from the guys that are doing tens and hundreds of millions of dollars. So now I didn't know how to go about asking those guys. So I deferred. So
that's a wild story because, me knowing you, the viewers probably don't, right? I know you got 60 plus rentals.
Right.
I know you closed hundreds of deals.
Right.
So you did all that without a mentor. And that's crazy impressive. And you could have probably tripled, quadrupled that
with a
if you
mentor.
did.
With a mentor. Yeah.
So when did it start, like, I guess, clicking for you? Or, like, was there, like, a specific thing? Did you hire somebody? Or
when I knew I needed a mentor was that when the business got so big that I couldn't do it, I couldn't be involved. So I had to bring on, not employees, I had to bring on operators, managers. And what's the thing about, the business, right? You got to bring on the best people. I didn't know how to lead great people. That's when I knew, I'm outside my league now. I would bring in the best of what they were doing, and 3-6 months later, I drove them out. I didn't know how to let leaders lead. I needed leaders to follow me, which completely defeats the purpose of bringing on a leader.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to let operators operate in their way that makes them efficient. It needed to be my way.
Yeah.
And I would lose. And when I was losing them, man, these guys don't this, and then this guy don't that, and then this lady don't this. And then it got to the point where when I'm talking to people, they were like, you lost this number of people from all these different backgrounds, all these different professions, and you have a reason why it's always them. It's like, nah, it's you.
It's you. Yeah. I think that's the thing, us entrepreneurs, us business owners, we forget, like, we're trying to create them so we could be out of it.
Right.
But sometimes we are coaching them so much that we're putting ourselves into it
to the point where they didn't even feel comfortable making decisions without me, which was a rut, because I'm like, just do this. And it's like, but when I do, you got a problem with it. So now you come in here to tell me that you want me to operate, but you don't like the way I operate. I don't know or like the way you operate, but you want me to do what you doing, and it's the complete opposite way I'm doing things. So good person after good person walked out the door. And I'm like, okay, I don't need to hire someone to teach me how to do business. I need someone to teach me how to lead people. I need someone to teach me. My business is I feel like I've hit a competency glass ceiling. I don't know where to go from here. I need someone to teach me the lending industry that I haven't made access. I know that room exists. I've never walked in that door. I need someone to teach me that. That was within the last 12 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in terms of your, like, rentals, right?
Right.
How'd you get into that play? Because I don't have any yet. I want to buy some. So, like, what advice can you give me?
So my thing is, I flipped, before I bought my first rental, I flipped like 80 houses. Right. And that's always the response. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Until when that 80th house sold 3 months later, I was broke.
How?
I mean, I gotta pay bills, right? Because when I'm flipping, right, I flip a house, and mind you, and that's a common misconception, right? Yeah. So I'm in Dallas flipping houses. I'm grossing 50. I'm netting 28.
Yeah.
So people only see what's on the HUD and see 50 bands, but they don't know that I got $30,000 of debt from credit cards or installment loans that got me through, so I'm there on the 50 that I'm making, I'm paying down credit cards. So I'm only keeping 15, 20, 25.
Yeah.
I'm still paying for employees, for marketing, etc. So I started doing, you know what? I just need to do more houses. So I started doing 2 at a time, right? So now if I get this 30, now I get 60. But of course, every house I'm not making 30. Sometimes I made 15. Sometimes I made 10. Sometimes I made 50. All right, so now I need to just do more and then stockpile. So at one point, close out a month, 100,000. Okay. 3 months later, where am I? Needing to do another deal.
Yeah.
I was like, this ain't it. I bought my first rental property in 2017, bought my second in 2018, and then in 2018, I bought 15, 20, 25. This is a year up.
Yeah.
I just went nuts.
Yeah.
And from 2018 to 2023, I bought 50.
Wow.
How'd I do that?
Yeah.
I understood at that time in 2014, I was brokering hard money in 2014. officially launched a department for brokering hard money in 2016, launched my lending company in 2017, understood how money actually works, understood how to manipulate it in 2018. And then in 2018 and 2019, I bought like 20-something rentals. I learned how to hack money.
Yeah.
The first,
so
now mind
getting
you,
like private money.
hard money, hard money lenders. What I learned in 2017 was when I understood how the money was structured.
Yeah.
My first 20 houses I bought with the same $13,000.
Wow.
$13,000 bought me 20 something
houses.
Mm-hmm.
What? I need the blueprint.
So 13. So that's why here's what I realized, right?
Yeah.
What people do is they find the house and then get the money. I got the money
first,
and then I backed into the house.
Yo, that's what I do for my land business, you know?
So
I like reverse engineering. It just makes it so much easier. But why is that good for that?
Well, because check it out, right? When there was a house that I liked, oh man, I like this neighborhood. I like the way the house looks. Let me go get the loan, boom, boom, boom. Okay, all right, move a little here. I can cut the rehab budget here, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. When I'm buying rentals, everything is economics, right? So I said, here's what my money looks like. These hard money loans, I get the purchase and the rehab. 70% of ARV. My refinance, I can cash out at 75% of ARV, right? So I can cash out 75 of ARV. Okay. So I said, okay, as long as my purchase and rehab is at 70%, when I refinance, I can pretty much cash out, get 100% of my money back with that 5% spread. Yeah. Meaning that, so let's say when I buy a house doing 70% ARV, let's say the house was worth $200. Yeah. Right? I buy a house, I paid $11,000 in closing costs. Now in Texas, we had 100% finance, 100 purchase, 100 rehab. So we only paid closing costs. So I would be into a deal, $12,000. Then I had, carrying costs, 2-3 months, got real good at that. So when I refinance, I would get, let's say a $200,000 loan at 70% is $140. When I'm refinancing, I'm getting the same $200,000 at $150. Yeah. So that 11 I put in, I'm getting 10 back. Okay. What was happening though was that I would, have the appraiser. I would always push value. So instead of 200, my appraisal will come in at 205, 210. Yeah. So now I'm getting 100% of the extra $5,000 got me that difference and my carrying costs. Yeah. So I buy it at 200 ARV. It had appraised at 215. I got 100% of my money back. Before the tenant walks in, I'm 100% in the black. Yeah. So I take that same 15, do it again. That's how I got my second one, then my third. What I realized though was that, I have a hack. If I'm buying a house and then with a 1-car garage, 2-car garage, I can buy a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house with a 2-car garage. I can convert the garage from, 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,000 square feet. There's now 4-bed, 2-bath, 1,450 square feet. And it's so now that 200 ARV is now 275. So when I would cash out, instead of getting my money back, I got my money back plus another 35,000.
And that you could play with.
And I'm like, hold on. Yeah. So not only did I get my 15,000 back, I got another 35. Yeah. So I said, well, let's do this 3 times. Mm-hmm. And then, eureka. The house comes, put it in the model. Does it fit the 70-75 ARV model? Absolutely. But then where I started hacking, I only will buy 1 or 2-car garages that I convert, add the square footage. So that wholesalers are selling me a deal on a 200 ARV. When I do my garage conversion, I got a 275, 300 ARV. So now
you got it for way less.
I'm making more money buying rentals than I was flipping. Because you're selling me a 1,000 square foot house on a 1,000 square foot ARV. I'm refinancing almost 1,500 square foot house on 150,000 higher ARV. Damn. So not only was I getting 100% of my money back, every single house, I'm making 30, 40, 50,000 on the cash out.
And then you're getting the monthly income.
So then the monthly rents were light. Yeah. Brought in a Section 8 tenant, Section 8's paying 40, 50% higher than the market. I'm like, oh, so my current house will rent for $1,400. Section 8's paying me $2,000. Okay.
600.
That's the formula.
Yeah.
The deal has to meet my initial back end too. Here's my layer 1, has to have a 1 or 2 car garage that I convert. My layer 2, Section 8. Every single house that I bought from a house like 25 to 50, I was cashing out 20, 30, 40, 50,000 per house.
Damn. That's the blueprint right there.
That's it, right there.
So
just to let you know, people pay me $10,000 to sit in the room and have me explain it to them. No lie. And the reason I'm putting it out there now is because this model, if you do it right, it will work out like that every single time, because you're not finding the numbers to make the deal work. You're finding the deal to stick to your numbers. But the craziest part about that, you have to be disciplined and you have to be open to coming into neighborhoods you would not live in. And that's where most landlords make the decision. I would never live here. Like, look around. Yeah. Every single house has someone living in it. You don't have to live there. Other people do. Other people want to. Mm-hmm. So you got to take that whole and that's what's tough for landlords to do. Yeah. Because I hear it all the time. I would never live here. Great. That's why you don't live here. But you see, all of these neighbors, they do. Yeah. And it took, even for me, first couple, it took me a minute to like turn my nose down. Mm-hmm. Granted. But then what started happening is as I started doing more Section 8, it now went from a solid ass business model. But then I got the benefit of seeing a low income family in a really nice house. Mm-hmm. So then it started becoming emotionally rewarding. Yeah. So it was easy to double down on that. So now I got a business model that allows me to collect 100% of my investment every time, cash out 20, 30, 40, 50,000 every time, and then have a family come in a completely remodeled house, brand new top to bottom, with low income, and then just them be so excited to be there. I got paid financially and I got paid emotionally, and I just put pedal to the metal to that. And over 3 years, I ended up buying like 50-something houses in 3 years.
That's dope. That's so dope, bro.
One more caveat. Yeah. I cut general contractors. General contractors have been the essence of all of my property flops. Every property flop that I did not have a general contractor on, that I ran my own subs, I'm not going to say they were all perfect, but they were efficient because I'm running it. Even most recently, bringing in a general contractor 6 months ago, project went bust. So for this formula, my formula was you find the structure of the money first, the deal doesn't fit it. If it didn't fit it by 5%, it's a hard no. Mm-hmm. And there were some phenomenal deals in perfect neighborhoods, perfect houses that just didn't fit. And it was difficult as hell to say it, but you have to be disciplined. So no. And the more I stayed disciplined, the more I was able to almost guarantee that this is going to shake down exactly as I'm predicting. And I've only misfired on my almost 70 houses now. I think I've only misfired on maybe 2 or 3.
Wow. So you say no general contractors.
It's just me. That's just like, mind you, I'm doing this full time, and then I have additional operators to assist.
Okay, gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
So for me running businesses, I have a very specific way I want to do things, and waiting 2 weeks for someone to show up back at my job is not it. Mm-hmm. And so what I've learned about general contractors is that they will take on 10 projects, having a crew or be able to handle 4. Mm-hmm. And you'll spend a week or 2 at a time waiting for a trade to come in. Or they'll do this BS about sending one guy there just to say someone's there. Yeah. So I'll walk in Tuesday at 1:00 p.m. There's one guy here mudding the house, a 25 square foot house. Yeah. What are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? No, let's get here. I come up Thursday at 10 o'clock, no one's there. Mm-hmm. Monday at 2 o'clock, no one's there. And what I found is that these general contractors are rotating 4 guys over 10 projects. Mm-hmm. And what that did for my business was hurt it.
Yeah.
And so now, me and the contractor, hey, well, I got other customers, and my question to him was, what does that have to do with me? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So you having other customers is hurting my business. Layer, no general contractors. By removing general contractors, I control the time, and more importantly, I control the cost.
Yeah.
So now, every time these subs are talking to me, they're telling me what the cost is, not what cost plus GC's fee. So I was able to cut costs, get a hard control of my timeline, and a formula that was already cashing me out 30, 40, 50,000 per house. So now this became an assembly line. Okay, I need 2 plumbers, 2 electricians, and this is the standard they work to. I got to the point where my contractors are walking in. Here's what I'm doing. I need set pricing. Don't go bid a house. I'm going to tell you exactly what we need. I need to buy a 2-1. I need a second bathroom. Second bathroom is going to be converted between a 2-car garage. I need set pricing. Oh, I need to go bid his job. Plumber, will hey, I'll give you $5,000 to redo the plumbing because I'm buying a 2-1 and I need a second bathroom and I need you to build it out. 5,000 flat fee. Yeah, I'll do it. So now I got a flat fee for my electrical. Same thing, electricians. I'm converting, flat fee. So when I walk a house, 5,000 flat plumbing, 5,000 flat electrical, 6,000 flat HVAC, and then my contractor, him and I agreed to 8,000, 10,000, whatever it is for the work. Mm-hmm. So I walk a house, I know exactly what it's going to cost to the dollar. And we sign contracts every house. So you're not going to come in and change order me because I'm giving you volume. I'm giving you 2 or 3 a month.
Yeah.
So you had that layer. So now I'm doing 4 houses a month, 4 houses every other month. Mm-hmm. Heavy controls in place. There is no variability. That's how I got to 60 in like 2.5, 3 years.
That's what's up, bro. So like, this is a land podcast, right?
Right.
So let's talk about a land deal that you did.
So here's the thing now, right? I'm shooting to get 100 houses by the end of this year. I'm no longer buying wholesale deals. I'm building the rest of my inventory. Like the rest of my portfolio, I'm building. So what I found lately, I found over the last half decade, is that the variables that come with buying these wholesale deals, right? You open a wall, there's a completely broken pipe that now the plumber's not going to honor a flat fee because we got extra work. You know, HVAC comes in, there's rats chewed through the ducts that we didn't see when we're buying aggressively. So now I got to replace ductwork. And it's just variable after variable. So these projects are now running 3 months. The guys who are building in 4 months. These projects, wholesale prices are up, wholesalers are up, and everything now is up. So a buddy of mine, he built the house all in, land plus build, for what I bought my last 5 wholesale houses for. I was like, oh.
I'm buying a land.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's, surviving this business is knowing when to adjust.
Yeah.
When to pivot. And it's time. So first land deal that I've done, I've never built, and I know, history don't repeat itself with me when it comes to this. Like, I was like, I'm not going to build for the first time again. So I was a financial partner on the build. This shit happened in like 5 months. There were no surprises. It was heavy controls. Chris, once the permits were in, it just went on autopilot. I was like, oh, this is it. So this last project that I'm wrapping up is going to be the last wholesale deal that I buy. I'm now building 3 a month now.
And straight from buying the land.
Straight from buying land.
That's what's
so after this podcast, you and I got to talk.
For sure.
After this, we're talking. But when I started doing that, investors that have done deals, that put money into my projects are like, Adonis, I want to build a portfolio in Dallas. Can we do what you're doing? First, it was the wholesale deals. I called them up maybe not even 3 weeks ago. Like, hey, I'm going to build your portfolio, like literally. And
Ground up.
2 more made the call. So I called a buddy of mine like, hey, listen, I want to build 4 houses every 60 days. I want a new set of 4 to kick off every 60 days. I was like, but I want controls. He's like, done. So all I'm doing now is buying land. That's
what's up. So you do so many different things. We could talk all day, but you brought a shirt, right? It says, I sell money.
Right.
So what is that about?
So I am a hard money lender, right? And so I like to think that my hard money programs are really competitive. So my bread and butter, fix and flip program is 90% of purchase, 100 rehab, 75% ARV, no mortgage payments, advanced rehab draws, right? It's a solid program. Very few people in the industry do no mortgage payments on purchases. even fewer do where I'm going to advance you the rehab budget. But what I learned was that when people are asking me to get into real estate, they always ask, what's the best way to go about getting into real estate? And they're like, hey, I should go on wholesaling. I'm like, no, you should broker hard money loans. That's not getting into real estate. That's brokering hard money loans. I'm like, right. When you understand, let me explain why that's the easiest way to get into real estate investing. Mm-hmm. Wholesaling, right? You put out your net. A bunch of people call you to sell their land, their property, right? You got to go through the motions of talking to people. Some shake down, some don't. Mm-hmm. Now you got to go talk to 100 investors who are all ready to buy. And you don't know who's window shopping. You don't know, because fake it till you make it apparently is a big thing nowadays.
For sure.
Not a fan of it. Listen, if you fake it till you make it, stop. Because when you meet guys like me and you're faking it, and then when I call you and you don't perform and I call you bluff, I will never respect you. Mm-hmm. I respect always. I'm new to the business. Still working on a few things and figuring out. I will never get mad at someone who doesn't know something. Mm-hmm. What will get me all the way put off is, I'm killing it. All right, you told me you want ABC. You have ABC right here, and we put 10 of them in front of you. You're not killing it. Right. Yeah. So what I told people was that wholesaling, you got to go through all the window shoppers, and wholesaling is find someone who wants to sell, find someone who wants to buy something similar, connect them, make a fee.
Yeah.
Selling money is the exact same thing. Find someone who needs a hard money loan, find a hard money lender who has money to loan, connect the two, and charge a fee. The difference is you'll never walk a house, sign a contract, put up $1 for earnest, $1 for option. And the crazy thing about investors and the crazy thing about real estate, in the real estate industry, real estate is not the most in-demand thing in real estate. What's the most in-demand thing is money. I've never once met a real estate investor who I said I'm a hard money lender who didn't ask me, well, tell me about what you do.
Yeah.
People want options for money. Even if they don't leave their current lender, they always want an option.
So in terms of brokering, right? There's 3 of us in the room.
Right.
Let's say you have the money, right? I need the money for a deal.
Right.
So Brody, the cameraman, he's like, I know somebody with money, and he connects me to you. And him putting a fee, that's what you're talking about?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Check this out.
That's like what I do without the land.
So check this out. He calls me and says, Adonis, I got a homie, does some decent volume. I want to connect him to you. Your loan program is dope. All right, let's do it. Hold on a second though. Every loan you close with him, I want to get 1%. You cool with that? Sure, let's do it. Why? You know how much it cost me to get you?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. There's no overhead. There's no marketing. There's no nothing.
Yeah.
So whatever monies I'm going to pay him, it's pay him to get something or get 100% of nothing. It didn't cost me to get you. So now think about this. He's made, let's say you do a $200,000 deal with me, 3 of them. He just made $6,000 off of a phone call. What he's done now, he's made this a business model.
Yeah.
Hold on, Adonis. I connect you with him, and every time he closes, you'll pay me 1 point. Well, because that's what I tell him. Well, if he starts negotiating me down, I got to negotiate you down, right? Yeah. So if he's like, hey, man, it's been 2 or 3 deals, I need you to reduce your fee. I got to call you and be like, we got to reduce our fee to keep them. All right, so instead of me paying you $2,000, I'll pay you $1,000. How much work is he doing? He's making $1,000 every time. And so now what does he do? Well, shit. If I call and connect him with someone else, I can make another $5,000, $6,000. So he makes the second person, makes another $5,000. So now he's made $10,000 in 2 months off of a phone call. This is now a business model for him.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, I got customers with no overhead. For him, he has $10,000 he's made off of a phone call, off of an email.
Yeah. And just networking, putting people together.
Now let me ask you.
Yeah.
How many houses did he walk? Contracts did he sign? Options, earnest, right? But even more, he calling his relative in DC, in LA, in Chicago. So now he's calling everyone he knows in real estate. He's pumping people into me, 2,000, 3,000, 2,000, 4,000. My man has just replaced his income off of email referrals. I have $0 in overhead getting that business. He's winning. I'm winning. But here's the crazier part about it. Mm-hmm. The more he's doing that, people are telling him how they got the deals. So as he's seeing the loan come in, now he's starting to, he wants to understand, okay, well, hey, I can't do this loan. Well, why can't you do this loan? Well, the credit. Okay. I need to ask him about credit. Well, this time, well, because the prices is too high. Okay. So he's learning what works.
Yeah.
He's learning what doesn't. And before he doesn't even realize, 3 months later, he'll hear a deal and be like, oh, no, that won't work. The numbers ain't good on this one because, the margins are too, and he'll look up and be like, holy shit, I know the intricacies of new construction, fix and flips. Oh shit, I see the guy that's doing 10 rentals. I know exactly what Adonis is doing. Yeah. I know how to move rentals. He doesn't even realize he's learned the business. Yeah. So not only did he learn the business, all aspects of it from both perspectives. The buyer's perspective, because he's the one talking to them referral. Because the buyers are always telling their pipe dreams. Yeah, I want to do this and this. So that's part of it, right? Mm-hmm. But then he's also hearing why the deal doesn't work from the lender. Mm-hmm. So he's understanding how the buyer is getting it, where they're getting it from, what's working, what's not. So he's understanding the buy side. Then he's getting on the phone with the lender. He's understanding why the deal works or doesn't work. He's understanding the money side. So now, and as the man in the middle, he's seeing it from both directions. Wow. He is now, in the transaction, the most informed between buyer and seller because he's knowing why it's going to work, why it won't. But more importantly, he's now connecting to all of their resources, the title company, the insurance company, the agents. Wow. So he's building his network just because he is in the middle of the transaction. And think about this. No one gets paid unless the lender performs. Mm-hmm. So every time I, as the money person, call the title company, they tell me whatever I want. Insurance company, the seller, you want to get paid? You and I got to work together. So where'd you get this deal? Mm-hmm. Grandma, because the lenders will always want to know, are you buying from relative? No, I got this wholesaler. I met him at this networking event. Good to know. Networking event. Now I know where to go.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to every networking event.
And I do that 10 times. I know where all the deals are coming from, who's providing them. Because, mind you, I'm the money person, so I'm seeing who's the original seller. Mm-hmm. We're talking, you're telling me where they're getting it from. Title company's telling me, oh, yeah, this person, we met him here. So I know where the title company is going to meet them, the insurance agent is going to meet them, where the agents are going to meet. I know what everyone is doing to drive their business, and they all need me to perform or they don't get paid.
In terms of contracts, right? Like, what does that look like? Is there?
You always want to do a buyer's and a broker agreement with the customer.
Okay.
Because here's the thing about real estate investors.
Yeah.
They're cheap as hell, and a real estate investor is only as committed as their financial position at that moment. And real estate investors, get out your feelings because that applies to me as well. So relax. But the thing about real estate investors, they are only as faithful to the relationship as their financial position in that particular moment, right? Mm-hmm. So an investor will find out that he's brokering and contact the lender directly, have a phenomenal relationship with him, but it's an $800,000 deal. He wants a $1.8 They'll call and be like, he's not giving me good service.
Yeah.
I don't want to. And they will literally throw him under the bus. Meanwhile, we speak to him every day, knowing he's speaking to them every day. He's getting us information. And they will do that because they're tight on money. Mm-hmm. If they don't perform, they lose 10,000 earnings. But they're 15,000 short. So now they're trying to figure out where I can cut some costs. Broker, gotta go.
Yeah.
See, but that's the thing. If you do just a cold referral to me, I don't know how, like, if you just call me and he didn't let me know that you were calling me, you're just a customer that found me.
Yeah.
So if he hits me up and says, hey, I got a broker's agreement with Eli. Every deal that we do, I need you to honor, blah, 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 blah. Him and I have negotiated. Now, if you try to circumvent me, he's already brought me 5 customers. Okay. Why would I cut him out for one deal when he's brought me 15 other transactions?
Is there a way that they don't see how much he's making?
Oh, yeah. So he can do one of 2 things.
Yeah.
These brokers can either get paid right on the HUD, or he can ask the lender to pay them after closing so they don't see it.
Yeah.
So, depending on the relationship, so it'll get to the point where some brokers with new relationships will be like, hey, just pay me, you pay me separately. Some brokers are like, absolutely not. I want to get paid when this shit closes.
Yeah.
Right? But either way, I sell money. I actually teach people how to do this. We teach people, I teach people how to get into the business brokering hard money. I teach people how to protect their interests, how to establish the relationships and cultivate the relationship with the customer and with the lender. Because if you get into, let me explain. The concept is very simple. You need money. A lender needs a loan money. I connect you to, and I charge a fee and get paid. It is that simple, but it is not easy.
Yeah.
I want to stress. It is literally that simple, but it is not easy.
I mean, it's the same thing with land.
Exactly.
It sounds like very almost exact same. Even situations, because when I'm dealing with sellers and I'm making like a $30K assignment fee, right? They see that fee. They call the title company.
Yep.
I'm not closing. He's making too much.
Yep.
So that could be that.
It'd be
same
pocket
scenario.
watching. Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
So the reason why it's important for him to establish a relationship with me, because he doesn't want me telling you it's going to be 2 points, but I didn't factor in his fee. So the moment, and here's the thing, I don't care what any investor says.
Yeah.
Anytime an investor says I won't hold you to it, investors, you are lying. You will hold it. Listen to the tape. Listen, bro, I won't hold you to it. A week ago, you said you want to hold it. So think about investors that no matter how much they won't hold you to it, they will.
Yeah.
If I, as a lender, send you 2 points, that's what's locked in your head, right? So when I come back and be like, oh, well, his fee is 1, so it's 3. You're like, well, hold on. If I send you a fee that says it's 3, there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah. If you just give him that.
Because his point is already built in, right?
Yeah.
So same scenario, same fees, even the same. If I send you a deal that says 2 points to me, 1 to him, your thing is, well, he just forwarded an email. Why am I paying him $8,000? But if I sent you a term sheet that said 3 points, you don't really care how it breaks down.
Yeah. And that's the key right there.
That's the key. Yeah. That's what I teach people. When you're getting into the money business, the nicest person will turn on you the moment the dollar gets tight. I teach people how to protect your interests at all times. Not only that, everything I just explained is mapped out at the absolute lowest detail. I just went torpedoed through how to talk to this person, get all the research. I teach you how to do all of that. Inconspicuously. Yeah. Not where it's invasive, where it's inquisitive, where it's like inquiring. Yeah. It's that's received 2 completely different ways. So I teach you, by the time the transaction is done, everyone is thanking you. Everyone can't wait to hear from you or call you or refer someone to you.
Now, I got this deal, right? Yesterday. It's a pretty big deal. Need $500,000, right, to close. Is that something that you will be able to do? If I could resell it for, I think I could resell it for like $650, $700.
Right.
But I don't want to use my cash.
Of course. Leverage, always. And let me tell you, with 500, you tying up 500, not even knowing what else you're going to do with it. This is a land deal?
Yeah.
And you're looking to wholesale it, flip it?
I'm going to put it on the market. Hopefully somebody, make offers. But I basically got it for the assessed value.
So even if like on land deals where you're getting 50% on the loan amount, that's still 50% of your own money you have to tie up. I always tell people leverage because the money that you're not leveraging, tying up on one deal can be diversified over 5, 6, 7, 8 deals, and and it always pencils. You'll make more, right? So like the crazy thing is the Smart Money Blueprint. That's the name of the education series where I teach people all of this stuff. At some point with the Smart Money Blueprint, you learn the money side of the business so much that there's no deal. There's no strategy that I don't hear that I'll instantly know how to maximize, because the contrary to what anyone says, the borrower is not the one who is the most at risk. The lender is. Borrower putting 10% down, I'm putting 90.
Yeah.
So I care more about the mechanics of the deal than anybody, right? So the Smart Money Blueprint teaches you to understand how every deal is structured, how to maximize it to your benefit, all this other stuff. So it'll get to the point where when you hear a deal, you'll be like, all right, I know I drop a 50, 60% loan on this. I can move this money here. I know if such and such gives me this will be my bottom. I mean, you can literally run it through in your head like that.
Gotcha. So where can the viewers follow you at and, reach out to you? Because I have a whole community.
Right.
They may not have the money to buy the land, right? But they want to make that 30, 40K without the seller seeing that fee.
Absolutely.
So how can they reach out to you?
I want to stress too, as a lender, I tell people how to protect themselves. So if you're in a deal where you don't want them to see it and you're doing an assignment, like, nah, double close it. Yeah. And we'll fund the gap funding or the flash funding for it.
Yeah.
So not only do I teach that individually with the Smart Money Blueprint, but as a lender, we want to just make sure our brokers always know best practices and best ways to protect themselves. Mm-hmm. So I'll never let a borrower dirtbag someone that's bringing me business, because cutting you out off of a single transaction cuts the lifelong relationship that we could establish, mm-hmm. right? So to find me, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. Adonis Locke is just my first name, last name. L&H Capital, that's my lending company, my hard money lending company. We do fix and flip loans, rental loans, new construction, Smart Money Blueprint. For anyone who wants to learn real estate investing from the money side of it, smartmoneyblueprint.com. Smart Money Blueprint, I am dubbing this as the newest way to get into real estate investing. I'm creating a new strategy to get into real estate investing while giving people the ability to see how the money works. And I'm going to tell you, there's nothing more stepped on this planet than $1 in real estate.
Yes, sir. So if y'all want to tap in, what did you say? Smart Money Blueprint?
Smart Money Blueprint.
And if y'all want to flip land, tap in with the Game Changers. Game Changers.